Hi everyone. Somebody was asking me just before, it was, let me just see, is it Kerry? Not that one, sorry, next one. KS Deck, that's Kerry. And she says, P.S. how many pairs of scissors do you have? I swear they're a different pair every time. I use all of these in my crafting, Kerry. And you do need to get yourself a really good set of scissors. Because some scissors you can use for one thing that you shouldn't really be using for something else. So I'm just going to run through. These are my largest pair, and these were my old dressmaking scissors when I used to do dressmaking, which are all blathered in paint. But these are ideal for chipboard. So I'll just show you. It cuts chipboard really easy. If I tried to do that with, I don't know, let's just say these, it doesn't, you can't, there's no pressure on them. If I tried to do them with this pair, again, not much more pressure. I wouldn't really dream of doing it with these, although, you know, see, nothing. I do sometimes use these if the chipboard is thinner. So you get with a thinner chipboard, that's 2mm, I would get a better cut. But none of they won't cut the chipboard, but this is really, really easy to cut chipboard with. So those I use for chipboard. These I use for material. And I'll just, hopefully it'll work. This is just a cloth, tea towel cloth. And they cut dead easy. If I tried using these, they don't cut. There's no point in forcing a pair of scissors to do a job they're not meant for. These were bought in a set by a friend of mine, June. These are Westcott titanium. And there's a set of, I think it's, I've got another pair, oh these, there they are. The smaller ones, and they're really, really, I mean they are sharp. You know, I could cut that with them, easy. Or I can cut material with them. And what I do, I generally use these for ribbons and laces. That's that set. I use these for when I'm unpicking to cut thread and fibres. And I use these for cutting material, and they will probably cut almost any material. So that's those. Now these I use for fussy cutting paper. They're pointed, you can get into all little nuts and crannies, and you know, you can do all sorts with them. So you do need a pointed pair, small pair for cutting paper, for cutting fussy cutting. Okay, so that's those. These, I don't often use them. I used to use them in my dressmaking, but this was a pair that I picked up in America. I do have another pair of these that are in a drawer at the moment, so I don't often use those. Let me just see. Now, if I'm cutting, no, you know, I'm not fussy cutting paper, I will use these, and you generally see me use those for cutting most papers. You do need a very sharp pair of scissors for cutting paper, and it's okay. These are the cheaper ones. These are fine. You know, they will cut paper, but they're a little bit more expensive. With it, these blades last longer. I wouldn't have to sharpen them as often as I sharpen them, so I always have 2 or 3 pair of scissors for paper. Like I've got those, and it depends on the thickness of the paper. This pair will cut any thickness. And card, I'll cut card with those. This will generally cut this type of paper, that, you know, ordinary paper. And these as well. Although these are a bit stiff now, they've got glue on them, look. So I need to clean them because I was cutting tape with them. I use them for tape and things like that, so I don't damage those. So if you always have a pair of scissors that you can, I need to clean mine, sorry. Cut double-sided tape with and things like that. Keep a pair for that. Keep a decent pair of scissors that'll cut card and paper, and then keep a pair of scissors for just paper. So I use those. These are basically used for, well, again for paper, but it's like, when I'm doing flowers, if I'm only doing a small flower, I will use them to cut flowers with, because they're quite strong and thick blades. So they're a nice, decent pair. The Tim Holtz ones, I have to say, I didn't buy these. I had these bought me and gifted me. And I very rarely use them. I know they say you can cut anything with them. I actually very rarely use them at all. When my hands hurt, then I'll get these out because they're great for gripping. And that's it. You can buy these without the Tim Holtz, you know, that are not Tim Holtz name. I've seen them. So you don't need to go out and pay £11 or whatever they are for a pair of scissors like that. You can go and buy them very similar, and they've still got the same strong blades on them. I mean, these were only made in China anyway, but you know what I mean. So I very rarely use them to say I've got them. Only when my hands hurt. Just move them. These, again, if I'm cutting fibre, basically. They're stainless steel, and they're okay. These were the older ones, but then I got these, and these are as old as them, I think, to be honest. And you will see me using those in cutting paper as well. If I'm cutting big sheets of paper and that, and card, this card that it's on, I will probably use those. So I do have 2 or 3 pairs for paper and card. I can't really say I use them apart from when my hands hurt, I'm sorry. Tiny ones for doing little snippet bits, little flowers and whatever. Same as those. Like I said, these are all used for paper, different thicknesses, you know, on card. Don't really use those now. These for which are really strong, you know, for material and threads, basically. Those for ribbons and laces. That one for material. Those for fussy cutting, because you can, they're really, really sharp right down to the point, so you can get in every nook and cranny. And these for chipboard. So yes, I do have a lot of scissors, but they all get used, and that's why, depending on what I'm doing, you will see different scissors being used. And sometimes I'm lazy and just use the pair I've got out, but I generally do try and stick to what they're meant for. And it does seem a lot, but they will last you far longer. I did used to have, in fact I kept them. I had a pair with a blue handle that I cut paste with, you know, like Fimo clay and things like that. You do need a separate pair for those, and they were purposely made for clay. But I broke the handle. But I will be getting them fixed, hopefully, and I will be, you know, adding them back to my collection. But I do strongly advise you to get yourselves a really, they don't have to be expensive. These were, but I didn't buy them, they were gifted to me, and I do use them an awful lot. But I would advise you to get yourself ourselves several pairs of scissors. And I use the different, you see the different colour handles, because I sometimes can't remember which is which. But having all the different colours, I know exactly what they're for, and it does help. It is a lot easier when you've got the right pair of scissors. They do last a lot longer than they would normally last. And, you know, look after your scissors. Your scissors are part of your craft, and therefore you should look after them. And like I say, I have mine, and I use them an awful lot. So hope that helps. Same with tweezers. Let me just show you the tweezers I have. These are my old pair. These are the new ones I've just bought. I didn't go for the cost-effective ones, £4 for £1. I bought mine. These were £1 from Every Craft's £1. And I do like them, and they were exactly the same. They were exactly the same as those, but these have all gone out of shape now. Look, so I bought myself a new pair. But the tweezers, you do need, when I can find that all of them. Where's the others? I have more tweezers. I don't know what I've done with them all. I've got some that clip. Where are they? Oh, here they are. Okay. So, with tweezers, now, like my grandchildren say, these with a broad end, slight at an angle, are great for picking up your bling off the sticky back bling. So off the cellophane it comes on. They're great for doing that. So that's those. Okay. Again, those are, I mean, they're only eye tweezers. They're the ordinary eye tweezers, eyebrow tweezers. So they're again exactly the same. These I use more for picking up when I've been embossing and I get them out of the tray. You know, you've got a little bit, you can, well, these won't because they don't fit. That's why I bought new ones. Silly old. They're great for doing that. And for twisting flowers. You want to twist flowers, you know, paper flowers. So they're great for doing that. These are quite handy when you're trying to fish things out of things. I always have a pair of those. They remind me of chopsticks, the way you hold them. They're great for picking things out. And these are battered, they're old. And then there's these, again, for twisting flowers or holding something while you're embossing something. Because I don't mind if these get damaged or stuff gunk on them, do you know what I mean? But you must always try and have a decent pair. And a pair you can use that you don't mind getting gunk on, and a pair you can use for twisting properly. I mean, they won't twist anymore, but these will. And it's great to have a decent pair to hold while you're, and you don't have to hold it down here like you would with them. See? You'd have to pin them together like these. You just press them open, they open, put the object in and let go. And then you can just hold that for embossing or whatever you're doing. So get yourselves a selection of tweezers and just use certain ones for certain things. It is handy. It's harder to pick up with this kind, the bling, the sticky back bling, see? Unless it's the tiny, tiny wee ones like my granddaughter was talking about. So you do need several pairs of tweezers. So that's those. I shall just clip them away. Excuse me. Another thing is knives. I might as well do the whole lot while we're here, mightn't we? Now, knives. Put the tweezers away. I do have lots of blades. Several ones. Oh, sorry. Losing my bird cage, can't do that. Let me just see, have I got them all? Yeah. Right, the blade's broken, but I need to replace that one. I forgot to do it. That's handy for cutting paper, that particular type. I often, and that's, you know, if you're not using, if you don't need to use a ruler or anything like that, and you just want to cut paper, do it with one like that. That's great. These, which is broken, I broke that one because I'm heavy-handed. But these are really handy if you're using a ruler and you need a sharp, you know, blade. Use a steel ruler on one of these. Don't use these with a wooden ruler, because I'll tell you why. You end up with a ruler like mine. There ain't a straight line on it. So do use a metal ruler. I have one somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, here it is. I always use it with this metal ruler of mine. But I've ordered the same as Billy May. Because it's a nice grip on that. I liked hers. And she wouldn't let me pinch it, so. So use those. These are fine if you're, you know, if you want to scrape the edge of a piece of, to rough it up a bit. They're great for that, absolutely. I wouldn't trust one of those, because as you can see, the blades come off at sections. Okay? But these are ideal for edging. Unless you own the Tim Holtz thing, which, sorry, but these are just as cheap and do the same job. In fact, I like this better. You can get as much roughness on something as you like. So I'll use that for that. And then any thick chipboard that I wanted to use, that I want to cut, I'll use one of these bigger bladed ones. And you don't need much of a blade out. So when you've got your blade like that, click that back, that secures it, and you can just cut that like that straight away. Okay, so keep yourselves a selection of blades for various things, and they last longer, and they're far better really to have a different set of knives for various things. So change the blade on that one. And the next thing I want to show you are these, the Stylus. I can find mine. I've got them all in my pot here. And the thing is, what I did with mine, I've done toilet rolls. Somebody said, what's on your desk? Where do you keep all your tools that you use all the time? Well, right here in front of me, because it's absolutely laden with all my tools. I'm not going to bring it out. I'll do it when I've tidied my desk and I'll show you. But I have a number of these. Make sure I've got them all. Yep. Right, Stylus. Now, I've got another one of these somewhere and I can't find it. I'll put it down somewhere and I'll find it eventually. Though I don't want it. But I did have these bought me as well. These were gifted to me because I couldn't find this one. But I needed it when I did the big flowers. But you do need to have a number of tools like this. You don't need to have them, but if you want to be able to do certain things, then you will need to have a collection of them. Okay? So they're for flowers basically. And so are these, but you can use them on, if you're doing metalwork, you know, if you're doing the sticky back silver foil, and you put it on and you've got like netting underneath or something, and so you want to define the lines and the grid, you know, on the netting, use these. And you need different size ones. You can do markings on things. They're so easy. Some of these are double-ended. These are great for doing small flowers. We've got these. That I don't think was bent like that. I think I've done that with pressure. Sorry. Told you I was heavy-handed. Then you've got this one. And then you've got this one like a paintbrush. Again, it is supposed to be for your nail art. And I bought a set of nail art brushes. And this was in it. And that's ideal for doing markings when you're doing, again, like I say, the tin foil or the foil over card and things like that. And that's great for doing that. Just get your markings on there, because you can draw with them and write with them in the silver, or you can just make your markings. So it's handy to have a set of those. This one, I think this was the one I picked up in America, but I used to have one of these. I've got one somewhere. It is like a needle type thing, and I think it's used for rug making. But I use it for the same thing, like a stylus, like that. And just keep the ends clean, because if you don't keep them clean, when you go to do something, it's not smooth. So you do have to keep the ends clean. So there you go. A little bit of information on different things. Let me just put these back in because I can't see. Hot. I keep them all in one toilet roll, or one holder in this tray thing that I made. I haven't decorated mine because there's no point, you won't see it with all the stuff in it. I also have one of these as well, but these you pick up at in a hardware store. And I use this for fossiling for a long while. I still use it when we go out. If I remember rightly, I'm sure this comes off. I think it's got another end tucked in. Also, again, I use it for poking holes in things. If I'm doing a flower centre, I want to put a brad in it or something like that. It's also great for holding something down when you're drying it, because it's all metal. And as long as you hold it at the top, you've got a long distance from there to there where the heat won't touch you anyway. So they're great to have as well. I think that's it. Screwdriver set, in case I'm dismantling something. Pencils, obviously. Files. I do have a set of these. I'll show you these. These are handy as well. I use these a lot. And they're just an old set. But they're different shaped files with different grades. And I do use those as well a lot in my craft work and things like that. When I'm doing, you know, if I'm doing a bird cage and I'm making it out of chipboard, to be able to get in and smooth it out or rough it up, whatever, you can just use those. Great. No problem. I had them a long time then, when I used to do my woodwork. And then pallet knives. You need a really good collection, which you can buy them. You don't have to buy the wooden ones like I've got here, when I can get mine out of the pot. Ugh. You don't have to buy the metal ones, but I got these when they were on offer from, and the Winsor & Newton ones. But these, collection of these, I thought I'd clean mine. Ha! They're always handy to have. I've shown you the other ones in the giveaway. Always handy to have a set of pallet knives for different mediums. So that's those. I'll pop these away. Ooh, come on. That's it. I'll put that one at the front so I can see it. So that's it. Oh, there's another one. See, like that. Don't think there's anything else I can show you. Pencils and pens, markers and whatever. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye for now.